There's a lot of hyperbole in the automotive industry right now. And there's a lot of hyperbole specifically surrounding electric vehicles, both in terms of statements made by automakers about their standing in the EV marketplace, and in terms in statements about what specific electric vehicles can or can't do. And that's before you even discuss the absolutely completely made-up hyperbole spouted by those who believe that electric cars are little more than a rich person's plaything. In fact, that latter group of people are responsible for some real humdingers, and frankly, they're the reason why our FUD-busting series exists, which, by the way, you should totally check out if you haven't yet. I'll link to it below. At this channel, we believe in calling out companies when they do things that aren't so smart. We believe in praising those same companies when they do things right. And we believe in trying to make sure that you know the context that's often missing in the reporting from other mainstream news outlets. Which is where we find ourselves today. And the recent news that is spreading frankly around the world like wildfire. The news that Tesla is no longer the king of electric vehicles, being overtaken by Chinese automaker and battery specialist BYD, or Build Your Dreams. Shared by numerous newspapers and news outlets that should know better, like Nikkei Asia and the Financial Times. If it were true, it'd certainly be worth reporting. Except those headlines are missing the vital piece of information that proves the headlines are bovine byproduct. And I'm not talking about the stuff that you can put in your coffee. But first I was afraid, I was petrified, thinking you might go on without hitting the subscribe. But then you sent so many likes, and then you made the bell go bong and sub so strong. That helped us all to get along, to make more stuff for you to see. As long as you keep coming back to watch us on TV, and then we'll promise to make more and keep on FUD-busting that score. Okay, I'm done. No, seriously, I know some of you hate the singing, but frankly, more of you like the singing than liked us just asking for support. And so, unless you have a better idea, in which case, we're all ears, singing is kind of staying for a while. I've got to pay the rest of the team somehow. As you know, if you watch this channel, we've not shied away from calling out Tesla or Elon Musk when comments have been made that are questionable. And that's got us a reputation for quote-unquote hating on Tesla. Because in the mind of some people, if you say something negative about someone, even if it's constructive, you are hating on them. But, well, earlier this week, a story broke about Tesla that's frankly untrue and shows that context is king when it comes to news. So we have to cover it. Over the weekend, BYD's official company Twitter account said that it had sold 134,036 quote-unquote new energy vehicles in June, a year-on-year increase of 162.7%. That's pretty good. Off the back of that, several news outlets quoted what they said was BYD figures showing total quote-unquote new energy vehicle sales for the first half of the year of 641,350 vehicles, which is a 314.9% increase on the same period last year. Compare this to Tesla's just released estimates for the second quarter, which show an expected drop in both production and deliveries from the first quarter due to various factors outside of Tesla's control, such as China's long COVID lockdowns and a massive part shortage. And if you're feeling lazy, it certainly looks like Tesla didn't do as well as BYD. Except the devil is in the detail. Or rather, different nomenclatures for EVs used in different parts of the world. Here in the US and in Europe, as well as some other markets, the term electric vehicles usually refers to battery electric vehicles, cars that have electrochemical battery packs that provide power to the electric motors that then drive the wheels. Then we have hydrogen fuel cell electric cars, which are also electric cars, but get the majority of their electricity from a hydrogen fuel cell stack in the vehicle rather than a large battery pack. The term plug-in vehicles is a slightly more confusing term, less clear-cut for many people. and it refers to vehicles that plug in and take grid electricity and store it in a battery pack. And this includes battery electric vehicles, but can also include range extended electric vehicles, where they have a small internal combustion engine that's used to extend the range of the car when the battery pack is empty, as well as plug-in hybrids, where a battery pack is used to provide supplemental power to an electric motor or motors to support an internal combustion engine, or indeed to provide low-speed all-electric operation around town. And not to be outdone, there's also the term electrified. It's the least specific term used to describe any vehicle with an electric motor in it that's larger than a traditional starter motor. This is a term that's really favoured by automakers, especially those who are frankly lagging on adoption of EV technology, and can literally refer to anything from a battery electric or hydrogen fuel cell vehicle all the way through to plug-in hybrids, non-plug-in hybrids, and yes, even cars with so-called mild hybrid technology, otherwise known as stop-start tech by most automakers. And if you are confused right now, it is okay. I've been in this industry now for about 15 years, and even I have to double and triple check things from time to time because there are so many confusing terms. But the terms I've just given you are those used in North America, Europe, and countries like New Zealand and Australia. They're not the terms used in China. In China, the term new energy vehicle is used, which doesn't specifically mean a battery electric or indeed hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicle, but rather anything that doesn't have just a regular old internal combustion engine in it. In other words, it means more than battery electric and includes plug-in hybrids as well. Oh, and lest I forget, the term new energy vehicle is often abbreviated in China to NEV, which is very different to what NEV stands for in North America when it comes to electric vehicles, because NEV in North America means neighbourhood electric vehicle, or a glorified golf cart. Confused yet? It's okay. The sad thing, though, is that BYD's press release accompanying its announcement is pretty darned clear about the differentiation between battery electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles, and while some of the more devoted Tesla folk on the internet are trying to rip BYD a new one, the company only used the term new energy vehicle because that's the term used by the Chinese government to refer to vehicles that fall into that category. If you take 5 minutes and you look at the official press release, you'll see that in the first half of this year, BYD's actual breakdown of vehicles as fuel type are as follows: 327,037 electric vehicles and 317,684 plug-in hybrid vehicles. This breakdown adds much needed context that many news outlets, many of whom were financial reporting outlets who should have known better, well, I think it just shows some lazy attitudes. Do a little maths, subtracting Q1 figures, which I found reported elsewhere, and the real second quarter figures for BYD's battery electric vehicle sales is 180,519 vehicles. That is not only a huge difference to the figure quoted by many news outlets under what I'm going to assume in a generous light was just a tight deadline, but it's also far less than the 254,695 cars delivered by Tesla in the second quarter. Or to put it bluntly, nobody else yet has caught up to Tesla in any meaningful way when it comes to sheer volume of electric car sales. I am sure that day will come, and as mainstream automakers ramp up their electric vehicle production volumes, we're going to see some serious competition coming Tesla's way. But I also think it'll be a year or two before Tesla's really going to need to look over its metaphorical shoulder for those playing catch-up. So, what really happened here? Is this a media eager to try and spread FUD about Tesla? Is it lazy reporting? Or is it something else? While it's very easy in today's modern climate to believe that first possibility, intentional malice, probably thanks to some loyalty with big oil, I think it's probably better to assume that Hanlon's razor is in attendance, or, to paraphrase, don't assume intentional malice when incompetence, stupidity, or sheer laziness are more likely. As a member of the media myself, though, and I want to be super clear here, I'm not excusing this behaviour, I suspect something else came into play, a lack of time and a lack of understanding. As I explained earlier, the EV world is a mass of complicated names and conventions that are easily misunderstood if you're not fully immersed in the EV world. You only have to look at the mass of names and specifications surrounding EV charging to see how frankly complicated and confusing it is for most new EV drivers and also for those who aren't immersed in the world on a day-to-day basis. Just now imagine that you're a finance journalist who doesn't understand EVs and doesn't really want to, or indeed that they understand the terminology that's used around the world to describe said vehicles. Now imagine that you are on a deadline and instead of writing 1 or 2 scripts a day as we do here, you're expected to bust out a dozen or so couple 100-word stories before lunch with limited research time and limited time to check things. Now imagine you're based elsewhere in the world to the thing you're covering. You don't have direct contact at the company, and your editor is breathing down your neck to get a story out in a timely way. Oh, last thing, the folk you need to talk with to check things are based half a world away and aren't the best at responding to your questions. So you just wing it. And honestly, I think that's what's happened here. A bunch of journalists who really should have known better winged it based on a tweet through laziness, maybe a tight deadline, and maybe someone else's second-hand reporting. That is not to say I think this can be excused, because look, if Elon Musk made a tweet that inaccurate, he would be in massive trouble with the SEC. Solution? All of the outlets involved need to redact and correct. It's what we do when we screw up. And I'm hopeful that those with half a mind who dabble in the stock market have the good sense to check the authenticity of such stories before dumping their stock and moving elsewhere. Sometimes less haste and more context is the better part of valour. That is it for today's video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to leave your thoughts below or in our free to join Discord chat room. There are links in the video description. And if you really like this video, why not leave us a super thanks? It's easy to do and everything you send goes towards helping us make great content. If you haven't already, make sure you've subscribed to this channel and our other channel, Transport Evolved Take 2, and give that bell a gentle ding to make sure you're told when our next video goes live. Thanks on behalf of the entire crew go out to everyone who makes this channel possible, and that includes everyone who supports us on Patreon and YouTube, and those of you who just watch and share our videos. If you're a supporter at the charged up level, you'll see your name right here on my right hand side, and thanks to our self-driving tier supporters Chris Maxwell, Pedro European Hero, Patrick Boyarsky, Bennett Elder, Brian Newton, Dave Kitchen, Michael Goad, Ricky Leon, Andrew Martin, Greta Hota, Brophy Wolf, Tesla in the Gong, Gordon C, Stephen O'Donoghue, Carl Hodgson, Anthony Coates, Regine Fellows, Jim Burness, Chris Centaur, Chris and Michael Johnson, Peter Dillinger and Denny Hyde, and of course, super out of this world thanks to our Starman level supporters, Anonymous Freak, Marcel Ward, Reggie Watts, Rory Litwin, Joe Bresney, Reed R, JP Fagerback, Russ, Will Graylin, Matthew Drobnak, John Lyons, Andrew Glenn, Paul Conway, Laura Reynolds, Ellery Hensley, and Ian. If you'd like to be part of that amazing list, you can join Patreon at the link in the description, hit the join button to support us on YouTube, or show us your support through Ko-fi, or heading to our cool swag store and buying a t-shirt like the one I'm wearing. And if you're unable to support us financially, just know watching this video and sharing it really makes a difference to our ad revenue. Thanks for joining me, and as always, keep evolving!